Welcome to LyFiveElements, where we are dedicated to sharing the wisdom of traditional Chinese metaphysics with the world. Our mission is to teach complex subjects like the 4 pillars of destiny, also known as Bazi, Qi Feng Shui, and more, in simple, easy to understand English. Subscribe and share our content to help spread this ancient knowledge. Your support is what drives us forward. We also offer personalized one-on-one consultations to guide you on your metaphysical journey. Feel free to leave a comment or contact us directly for more information. Thank you for being part of our community. Hello everyone, I'm Mari. Welcome to our intermediate course on Bazi analysis. Today, we are going to talk about the 5 combinations and 4 clashes among the heavenly stems. In the study of the heavenly stems and earthly branches, there are interactions such as combine, clash, break, harm, and punish. These relationships are very important and they form a key part of our upcoming lessons. We'll go through each of these 7 major topics in detail. Combine, clash, break, harm, punish, strong day master, and weak day master. Then, we'll learn how to interpret different aspects of a person's life, how to see love and marriage through the chart, how to analyze compatibility between 2 people's Bazi when they plan to get married. This is called marriage matching. How to read one's siblings, parents, children, wealth, career, health, and personality. How to identify years of misfortune or disasters, and whether there are punishments or clashes affecting the 6 family relations. How to determine a person's life and death tribulation, the major turning point or crisis in one's lifetime. A person's lifetime, including the lifespan of their parents, brothers and sisters, is all shown in the Bazi chart. It also includes things like the grave, the storage, and the void. There are many different structures in Bazi. If we divide them in detail, there are actually hundreds of types of structures. In this course, we will talk about some of the most common and most practical structures and explain them one by one. Later, we will also go through the 10 heavenly stems, explaining each stem in detail. Then we will study the 12 earthly branches, discussing every single one. We will also go into the 10 gods, which contain a lot of meaning, so we will explain the 10 gods in detail as well. We will cover luck cycles and annual luck to understand what kinds of events may happen and why. Finally, we will look at some real Bazi cases. All of these later lessons are closely related to the concepts of combine, clash, break, harm, and punish, which are extremely important. These 5 interactions represent times when the energy within a person's chart goes through major changes, and that's when their destiny may experience big ups and downs. Sometimes these changes bring good news, and sometimes they bring challenges. Therefore, whenever you interpret a chart, you must understand the meanings of combine, clash, break, harm, and punish. For example, when looking at marriage, when a person gets married or when they go through divorce, these are always related to these 5 interactions. Even the relationship between husband and wife and the timing of passing of parents or other relatives are all connected with combine, clash, break, harm, and punish. That's why this topic is extremely important. Bazi chart can produce certain combinations and transformations, and this topic is very complex, and it's almost like a chemical reaction. For example, when the heavenly stem Jia meets Ji, they can combine and transform into earth energy. Why does this transformation happen? The ancient masters never gave a precise explanation. They simply observed that when these 2 symbols meet, the energies merge and transform into a completely new kind of qi. This concept is quite complicated, but it is also one of the most important parts of Bazi metaphysics, and something that cannot be skipped. That is why I did not include it in the basic Bazi course, because it might be too confusing for beginners. However, this method is very accurate when applied in chart interpretation, and its predictive power is excellent. I plan to divide this topic into more than 10 lessons to explain it thoroughly. The heavenly stems have 5 combinations and 4 clashes. But when it comes to the earthly branches, the relationships become even more complex. Among the earthly branches, there are 3 combinations, 3 meetings, 6 combinations, 3 punishments, 6 penetrations, 6 breaks, and 6 harms. The relationships within the earthly branches are extremely intricate, so we will need several separate lessons to cover them properly. First of all, it's essential to understand one key concept. Heavenly stems only interact with heavenly stems, and earthly branches only interact with earthly branches. There is no combination or transformation between a heavenly stem and an earthly branch. The relationships among the heavenly stems are relatively simple. There are only 5 types of combinations and 4 types of clashes. Because the knowledge points that follow are quite numerous, you can pace yourself by memorizing 2 points a day. In 3 or 4 days, you will have all mastered. What do the 5 combinations of the heavenly stems mean? When Jia meets Ji, they combine and transform into earth energy. When Yi meets Geng, they transform into metal energy. And when Bing meets Yin, they transform into water energy. When Ding meets Ren, they transform into wood energy. And finally, when Wu meets Gui, they transform into fire energy. As for the 4 clashes, they go like this. Jia clashes with Geng, Yi clashes with Xin, Bing clashes with Ren, and Bing clashes with Gui. Some people ask, why are there 5 combinations but only 4 clashes? That's because Earth does not clash with Earth. In fact, this reflects the principle of the 7 killings relationship. Fire and water are opposites that clash, but Earth and Earth are mutually neutral and do not conflict. Now let's look at the 3 possible results of combination and transformation. For heavenly stems to combine successfully, the 2 stems must be right next to each other. This is the first step toward a valid transformation. Note that this is only the first step, or the prerequisite. This is not a successful transformation yet. If the 2 stems are right next to each other and has successfully combined, it is called a direct combination. The second result is not considered a true combination. This happens when the 2 characters are supposed to combine are separated. In that case, it doesn't count as a real combination. If another heavenly stem stands in between them, it's called a separated combination. If the two stems are far apart, for example, one in the year pillar and one in the hour pillar, that's called a distant combination. Whenever a separated or distant combination appears, it only shows the intention to combine, but the combination is not actually formed. The transformation is unsuccessful. So it cannot be regarded as a true combination. Such cases can be ignored in practical analysis. However, they should be interpreted as mutual restriction, indicating disharmony or incompatibility between the two related palaces or family relationships. Now, let's look at an example to help everyone understand this better. In this Bazi chart, there is a Wu Gui combination. The hour stamp is Wu, and the month stamp is Gui. However, since there is a Jia in between separating them, this belongs to the type we discussed, a separated combination, where another heavenly stamp stands in between. Separated combinations are not considered true transformations. There is also a Jia-Ji combination into Earth. The day stamp is Jia, and the year stamp is Ji. But since there is another stamp in between them, they are also separated, so they cannot truly combine. This means the two are in disharmony. Who are the ones not getting along? The Jia represents the self, and the Ji represents the father, indicating possible conflicts or disagreements between the person and their father. The Gui of the month stamp represents older siblings, and the Wu of the hour stamp represents the son, indicating that the older siblings and the son may also have some discord. In such cases, the relationship should be interpreted as mutual restriction rather than combination and transformation. As long as there is another stamp in between, it does not count as a valid combination. For the transformation to be successful, the earthly branches beneath the two pillars involved must contain an element identical to the one produced by the combination. Only then can the transformation truly take place. If there is no root in the earthly branches, but the month branch generates the combined element, it can also be regarded as a successful transformation. When there is another type of relationship called combination without transformation. In this case, the two characters are indeed right next to each other, but the element produced by the combination has no corresponding element in the earthly branches beneath that pillar, and it is not supported by the month branch either. Let me show you another example so that everyone can understand this more clearly. Let's take a look at this Bazi chart. Here we see a Wu-Gui combination into fire. But in the earthly branches beneath these two pillars, there is no fire element at all. Not even hidden among the sub-stems or the hidden stems. When the resulting element from the combination does not exist in the branches, we then look at the month branch because it holds the greatest influence. We need to check whether the month branch generates the element produced by the combination. In this case, Wu and Gui combine into fire, but the month branch is high water, which actually restrains fire. Therefore, this combination fails to transform successfully. This is what we call combination without transformation. Just like the previous example, a combination without transformation represents disharmony between the two palaces and their related family members. Here, it represents the older siblings and the father, indicating that they are not in harmony. Since earth overcomes water, this is not treated as a true combination, but as mutual restriction. This type of situation, where the combination fails, is considered combination without transformation, and it signifies discord between the two related palaces. After a combination successfully transformed, what does elements in 1 to 5 turn into? For example, what does Jia turn into? What does Yi turn into? And so on. Stay tuned for part 2 of 5 combinations and 4 clashes of the heavenly stance. Don't miss out. Hit subscribe and share to join us on this incredible journey of discovery. Your support fuels our passion to keep creating. Any questions or need personalized guidance? Leave us a comment or get in touch. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being part of the LyFiveElements family. If anything is unclear, feel free to drop a comment below. I would love to discuss and explore these topics with you. And for those of you who want to understand your Bazi chart but find the learning process too complicated, you can always message me for a one-on-one consultation. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support truly motivates me to keep sharing this knowledge. See you in the next lesson.